So I think it was 2016. I had been at Campbell for about 4 years, and 4 or 5 years, and we had just launched our medical school a few years prior, and this was heading into the 3rd year of our medical school. And I knew that our medical students were about to head on their rotations, which means they were going to start working in hospitals throughout North Carolina. And I thought that that would make a great story, because it's one thing to attend medical school, it's the other thing to actually be thrown into hospitals and asked to, perform with and learn with live patients. So for a week, for 5 days, I followed one student per day, but one that really, that I'll always remember was following this young woman named Erica, who was working in OBGYN, and her shift that day was the delivery hall at the hospital. It started out a very slow day, but I'm with Erica and her preceptor, which is a doctor that they learned from. And I'm with them, and they're at her office, which is about a half mile from the hospital. And she gets a call, the preceptor gets a call that there is a young woman who is only 5 months into her pregnancy that is going in for an emergency C-section. So what started out as a slow day suddenly turns into a full sprint as I'm following this doctor and her student and following them to the hospital. We arrive, I see the scene, I see them both scrub in, and then within minutes they're behind closed doors, and I'm sitting out in the hallway with a very nervous father. And about 10 minutes later, the doctor comes out and comes up to me and asks me to scrub in. And I thought she was joking at first, and she says, I'm going to ask my student to perform her first sew up the C-section. And I want you to witness this. And I said, absolutely. I scrubbed in, I got my camera, and I got to stand in the corner of a hospital room and take pictures of a young student performing her first surgery. I got to witness that, and then I got to tell her story. And so when people ask me what is most fulfilling about my job here at Campbell University, is that I get to experience some of these huge moments in these students' lives, and I get to experience things that they'll never forget, but I also get to tell that story, and I get to share that story with other people, and I get to chronicle that story for those students. We have the tagline here of leading with purpose, and I get to see that firsthand, and I get to see how our students are using their faith to minister to others, to serve others. I followed physical therapy students out to a migrant farm, and they did all this work for free for uninsured migrant farm workers who really needed it, really needed to see doctors. I've seen alumni who have started restaurants in downtown Raleigh where it's a pay what you can type restaurant, and there's just this service mentality that it just inspires me. And so I feel like being at Campbell, my faith has become stronger because I've seen the good that people here are doing for others and how they're using their faith to make a difference. And they don't even have to be ministers. They don't have to be in our divinity school. They can be MBAs, they can be doctors, they can be, they can be engineers, and yet they're still finding ways to use their faith. And when I get to tell those stories, and when I get to really ask them why they're doing this and why they want to make a difference, hearing their answers makes me want to be a better person, and it strengthens my faith as well.